The recent coalition agreement in the Netherlands marks a significant shift in the country's political landscape, with a coalition formed by several right-wing parties. I'm here with Bert Brussen, a podcaster and political commentator.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So how did Geert Wilders and his Party for Freedom, PVV, perform in the recent parliamentary elections in the Netherlands? And what role did the performance play in the formation of a new government?
Well, how they perform, well, it's basically the same as the elections in Sweden, where how do you say it? Sferige Democraten, the Swedish Democrat, have won with a landslide. Here too, Geert Wilders, I believe, had 37 of the 150 seats, which is not a majority enough, but it was the biggest party. The second one was the left-wing Social Democrats and the Greens. They are together in the Netherlands. They had 25 seats. So the Geert Wilders party was 12 seats bigger, which was a surprise. We always knew that Geert Wilders was always at least 15 seats, at least for the last 15 years, but nobody expected him to win that big. The role it played, well, because of the sheer size he won in, it was almost impossible to disregard him and neglect him. You cannot. It's impossible to say, well, you have won this many seats, but you can't make a government. You have to promise to. You have to fulfill your promise to the voters that you want to make a government. So that means that the VVD, that's the Liberal Party. They are also right-wing, but not as right-wing as Geert Wilders. They were also big, so they had to make a choice. Go down in history with being the one who denied the voter the parliament of their government of their choice, or joining the extreme right, for their sake, extreme right Geert Wilders. So they made the choice to join them.
And what are the main political ideologies and focuses of the coalition partners? And how might these ideologies influence the political agenda in the Netherlands?
Well, at the moment they have an agreement, and there are. Let me say there are Geert Wilders, the party of Geert Wilders. So that's quite very right wing. Then you have the VVD, which is the Liberals. Then you have the BBB. That's a farmer protest party. I guess you have in Sweden a farmer protest as well, or not?
Not in the same capacity.
Okay. So they're coming from the protesting farmers, and NSC, which is, it's difficult to say, but most of them are from the Christian Democrats. So it's some form of conservative party. What happens is that the PVV from Geert Wilders has a lot of extreme points, like no Islam, no asylum seekers, no mosques, etc. For their part, for if they had to say it, there was a ban on the Quran, etc. So it's very anti-Islam. They had to get away with all that points, and now they're very moderate, so the other parties could join as well. So what happens is that the extreme Geert Wilders is now actually quite moderate, and that has to be because otherwise that other parties didn't want to join him. So that's the most basic thing that has changed the political landscape in the Netherlands.
And Geert Wilders will not be prime minister, and
No.
They also say that it's likely that the new coalition will choose a technocrat as prime minister. Can you tell us more about this?
Well, because of how do you say that? Because of what people think of Geert Wilders, it's obviously not a good idea to become prime minister. It also has to do that his party, the PVV, is the only party in the Netherlands you cannot join or being a member of. It's more like a movement with just one leader, and that's Geert Wilders. And there's a lot of protest about it. And if you make him prime minister, that will give a lot of trouble. So he was smart and said already from the first time, I'm not going to be prime minister. It's difficult to find somebody else because if you are prime minister of this government, you have to take a lot of flack. You have to take a lot of criticism because you're prime minister of the most right-wing government, I think, in the history of the Netherlands. So, and what they've said is, well, because our parties are ideological, sometimes there's quite a big difference. It's maybe a good idea to find ministers and secretaries to occupy the government from outside, so they're more neutral. And that's why they tend to find maybe some technocrat to be prime minister.
Thank you again, Bert Brussen, podcast and political commentator.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching Riks Europe.